navigating security challenges in the Middle East. Israel is in a constant state of alert. The nation is no stranger to conflict. Its borders are tense, with hostile neighbors. Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon pose significant threats. Both are considered terrorist organizations by Israel and many Western countries. Hamas frequently launches rockets into Israeli territory. Hezbollah, based in Lebanon, poses a similar threat. It has a vast arsenal, many supplied by Iran. These guerrilla forces are deeply embedded within civilian populations. The situation is complex and dangerous. Israel must adapt its strategies to protect its citizens. Hybrid warfare, the evolving face of conflict. Ambassador Reuven Azar, Israel's envoy to India, recently spoke about the changing nature of warfare. He highlighted the rise of hybrid warfare. This type of conflict is characterized by its ambiguity. It blends conventional military tactics with unconventional ones. Terrorism, cyber attacks, disinformation campaigns, these are all tools of hybrid warfare. Azar stressed the need for Israel to adapt to this new reality. Gone are the days of clear battle lines and formal declarations of war. Today's enemies operate in the shadows, striking unexpectedly and then melting back into the populace. This makes them elusive targets, difficult to pin down or counterattack. Surprise, Azar argued, is essential. Israel must be unpredictable, striking at times and places of its choosing. It must use all the tools at its disposal, both military and diplomatic, to counter these threats. Complacency, he warned, is not an option in this new age of conflict. International allies. Crucial support for Israel's security. Israel, despite its military strength, cannot stand alone. It relies heavily on the support of its allies, most notably the United States. The U.S. provides Israel with billions of dollars in military aid each year. It also offers diplomatic cover at the United Nations and other international forums. India, too, has emerged as a crucial partner. The relationship between the two countries has blossomed in recent years. Trade and defense cooperation have increased significantly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's recent meeting with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas underscores India's growing role in the region. This meeting was significant. It demonstrated India's willingness to engage with all parties in the conflict. India, with its long history of non-alignment, is uniquely positioned to act as a bridge between the two sides. Israel welcomes India's growing involvement. It sees India as a natural partner, a fellow democracy committed to fighting terrorism and promoting stability in the region. Pager and walkie-talkie blasts in Lebanon, a new front in an old war? Recent incidents in Lebanon have raised tensions. Explosions, seemingly targeting Hezbollah operatives, have rocked the country. These attacks, using unconventional methods like rigged pagers and walkie-talkies, have fueled speculation about Israel's involvement. Israel has remained tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying responsibility. However, the attacks bear the hallmarks of previous Israeli operations. They demonstrate a high level of sophistication and a willingness to strike deep within enemy territory. Hezbollah has accused Israel of waging a shadow war against it. It claims that Israel is carrying out targeted assassinations and sabotage operations within Lebanon. These accusations, while difficult to verify, highlight the climate of fear and uncertainty that pervades the region. These incidents, whether directly attributable to Israel or not, underscore the volatile nature of the conflict. They are a stark reminder that even seemingly minor events can quickly escalate, potentially igniting a wider conflagration. Section 5. Israel's response, walking a tightrope between security and civilian safety. Israel's actions in Lebanon and Gaza are often met with international criticism. The use of military force in densely populated areas inevitably leads to civilian casualties. These tragedies spark outrage and condemnation, fueling accusations of disproportionate force and human rights violations. Israel maintains that it does everything possible to minimize civilian harm. It argues that it is forced to operate in challenging environments where its enemies deliberately hide among civilians, using them as human shields. It points to Hezbollah's practice of storing weapons in homes, schools, and hospitals as evidence of this tactic. This is a difficult argument to make, especially when images of dead and injured civilians dominate the news cycle. The optics are terrible, no matter the intent. Israel finds itself in a no-win situation, caught between its imperative to protect its citizens and the international community's condemnation of the resulting casualties. Section 6. The U.S. and Israel, an enduring alliance. The United States has been a steadfast ally of Israel since its founding. This alliance is rooted in shared values and strategic interests. The U.S. provides Israel with significant military aid and close intelligence cooperation. This support has not wavered, even in the face of international criticism. The U.S. views Israel as a vital democratic ally in a volatile region. It recognizes Israel's right to defend itself against threats. This unwavering support has been a source of strength for Israel. It provides a sense of security, knowing it has a powerful friend. Section 7. Seeking peace through international cooperation. The path to peace in the Middle East is fraught with obstacles. Decades of conflict have created deep mistrust and animosity. Yet the pursuit of peace remains a moral imperative. It is the only way to ensure a brighter future for all people in the region. International cooperation is essential. No single country can solve this complex problem alone. It requires a concerted effort from all stakeholders, including regional powers, global institutions, and civil society organizations. Dialogue, however difficult, is the only way forward. It is through open and honest communication that misunderstandings can be addressed, grievances aired, and common ground found. A lasting peace can only be built on a foundation of mutual respect, understanding, and compromise. Section 8. India's role, a bridge between worlds. India, with its growing influence on the global stage, has the potential to play a constructive role in the Middle East peace process. Its long-standing ties with both Israel and the Arab world, coupled with its reputation for neutrality and fairness, make it a credible interlocutor. India's approach is rooted in dialogue and diplomacy. It seeks to build bridges of understanding and cooperation, promoting peaceful coexistence and mutual respect. Its recent engagement with both Israeli and Palestinian leaders underscores its commitment to this approach. India's involvement should be welcomed by all parties. Its pragmatic and balanced approach, devoid of historical baggage, offers a fresh perspective on this long-standing conflict. India can act as a catalyst for change, encouraging dialogue and confidence-building measures between the two sides. Section 9. A call for unity and understanding. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is often portrayed as a clash of civilizations, a zero-sum game where one side's gain is inevitably the other's loss. This narrative is not only inaccurate but also deeply harmful. It is essential to remember that this is a conflict between two peoples with legitimate aspirations for freedom, security, and self-determination. Both sides have suffered immensely from decades of violence and mistrust. Both sides deserve to live in peace and dignity. The path to peace is long and arduous. It requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to compromise. It demands a rejection of hatred and extremism in all its forms. It necessitates a commitment to dialogue, understanding, and a shared vision for a brighter future. The international community has a responsibility to support all efforts aimed at achieving a just and lasting peace in the Middle East. It is time to move beyond the rhetoric of blame and division and embrace a language of hope, reconciliation, and shared humanity. Section 9. A call for unity and understanding. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is often portrayed as a clash of civilizations. This narrative is not only inaccurate but also deeply harmful. Both sides deserve to live in peace and dignity. It requires courage, compassion, and a willingness to compromise. It demands a rejection of hatred and extremism in all its forms. It is time to move beyond the rhetoric of blame and division and embrace a language of hope, reconciliation, and shared humanity.